Morning. So we came up with an idea that I film a conversion from these bodies that we have to the slot cars in the true scale class. So what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to set my GoPro up and we're going to film. I'm going to take a time lapse from beginning to end of a complete build, and you'll be able to see what it entails. This is the workshop. It's a bit messy, but that's what happens in a workshop. So I'm going to be sitting here, and I'm going to basically convert a car from this, which is how they come out the packet, this little RC chassis, everything, to our finished bodies ready to mount. Once they're finished, as you know, they are on a playfit chassis, how we race them at Race World. That's going to happen here. I'll set up, I'm busy prepping the GoPro with some power. It's a bit of a mess up, but you get the idea. There are a lot of cars and bits and stuff come out of this workshop, so I thought it'll be fun just for you to see what's involved. Okay, so we're ready. I've got the GoPro wired up here, so it's going to stay static over here, which is filming what I'm going to do here. It's got continual power, so it'll record 10,000 photos in the process. This should take me a few hours, and hopefully you'll get a good idea of what's involved. So enjoy. Just for the video reference, it is 7:45. I started at about 7:30 this morning. So the body's been stripped, windows are out, I've ground away any excess plastic. I've still got to do this, for instance, grind all these little tabs away and lighten this as much as possible. Right now we are at 35.8 grams. That's better. So once you add all the bits and pieces, the wing to it, the light kit and the body mounts, it's got to be just over 60 grams or anything above 60 grams. So right now I want to get rid of any excess weight that I can. Okay, I've closed the grill up because that mustn't have the emblem in it or anything like that. I've ground off anything that I don't need up here inside, and the top has been, excess has been ground off here, anywhere that it doesn't, we don't really need that much excess around the thing, and so on. So wait, now kind of ready to paint is, let's see if there's another way I can do this. Now there's wind here, but it's 35.3, 35.4. Okay, so I'm gonna now prep for paint. I'm gonna primer it with the normal Tamiya fine primer. And at this point what I'll do is I put hot water in a cup, which I'll get out the kettle. That warms the tin up, and that warms the paint up. This is the car we're going to do, the Black Falcon white and blue Merc. So I've got the decal file, which I've printed out, and some decal paper. I need to now, I cut this to shape or to size, and then I sticky tape it on this piece of paper, and then put this back in the printer and then send the print job again from the computer. I'll show you now. So we've stuck the decal paper, the water slide paper, on top of the decal sheet. I'm going to put that back in the printer as the next feed. On my computer, I'm going to go File, Print. I've got to select special paper, photo papers, and I have to print at best quality. Make sure it's the right page, and these are big files, takes a long time. It's not a Mac, but it does the job. Once that's happened, it pulls the paper through, and out will come this print job. Slow going when we're printing in photo quality. Almost there. Easy, but clean and looks cool. Here we go, here it comes. Yep. Okay. Oh, I'm sure you can see the gloss on there. So now what I need to do is I've got to go back to the workshop and then coat this. I've got to spray it with clear. Okay, I've got to clear coat this. So I've got a clear enamel. Hopefully you can see. Give it a good coat. Grab my hairdryer and dry it quickly. That's basically that. Now you can see it's got a nice gloss finish, and we're going to leave that for a few hours to dry. Decal sheet done. Okay. Tin's warm, body's mounted. I don't do anything to the body with these bodies. I basically just get on with it. It's quite a windy day outside, so this is blowing the excess and the overspray. But I've done it like this for years. The primer is to obviously get rid of the body color. Cool. Primer, we'll let that dry. Decal sheet, which is getting stuffed up. Okay. And we'll be back just now. It's also now 8:30, so it's taken me an hour and a half to get to this stage. I'm going to put another coat of, I'm going to now paint it with white paint, the proper white paint, probably Tamiya white, and then that'll have to dry, which is, yeah, that's going to actually take a bit of time. So I'll probably get back into this in a few hours time, and then we'll do the decal sheets. Cool. Okay, here we go. It's something to 10 already in the morning. So this has been drying nicely. It's now nice and dry, in my opinion. The body's been drying. I can handle it. It's not tacky. There's no issues. It's got a nice glossy finish to it. And yeah, looks good. So it's ready. What I'm going to do now, I've got to cut all of this up, get a bowl of water, tweezers, cloth, and I'll video one or two, if I can, of how I actually put the decals on. But otherwise, this guy is running and taking the photos, which will be a stream. This is the tedious work. I've got to go real slowly with a real good pair of scissors and cut all of this out. As close as possible to the actual decals, like that. And I've got to do the whole sheet. Cool. So 20 minutes to half an hour later, this is what the desk looks like. So everything is now cut out. Because it's going on a white background, it's a little bit easier than other ones. I've just got to cut carefully around each sticker, as you can see, and that should then disappear onto the body as and when it goes on. Got some stuff here for the wings. That's going to be a black carbon wing. Alright, let's get on with it. Okay, to prep, I have a tissue for the body to sit on while I work. I've got I fold one up. I do this for every single one I do. It's just like a ritual. That's to dab off the water. I get a bowl of lukewarm water here. Got all my stickers ready cut, and my favorite required tool, the tweezers. So I'm going to put this guy on first, which goes over the nose like this. So I'm going to have to wedge the camera into my toolbox for you to see this happen. Hopefully that works. So this is the story. You take sticker, dunk it in the water, it curls up like this, and we put it on the side of the bowl, let it dry for 10 or 15 seconds. That's basically got to go across the front of the body here. Okay, it's probably loose, so I slide it off half, grab where the backing paper is, kind of position it exactly where I want it, which is half over each side of the bonnet, and slide the paper off. So I've got just the same amount of decal going over that shunt line, so I know that sticker's straight. I then take my dabbing tissue and I just dab it like that. Oops. And that's that. That you can then see is pretty centered, even, and we're going to carry on with the rest. Okay, so what I do is I get striping done first. Usually stuff goes over the striping, but what's very important is to make sure it's straight. You don't want this piece to be facing that way and that piece and then the roof to be facing that way. When you look at the car when it's finished, I mean, we're trying to create realistic looking model cars, but you want that stripe to be as straight as possible all the way along the body. Yeah, looks good. Cool. More to come. Some of the hard stuff is thin pieces like this. So this decal's probably about 1 mil, 1.5 mil thick, and it goes around the grill on the nose. So I've got well, you can see the top's done. I've got a piece along the bottom, and then this lower piece all the way over here I've got to cover. You'll see it happen. So, thin sheet. Gently peel it off, grab it, position it where it's got to go, hold it with the thumb, and then slide the paper off the back, like that. Now you can see the bottom line. Dab it, dab it. For me, it's pretty easy. Some people would struggle, I think, but once it's done, the cars look right. Okay, there we go. Grill done, and the grill at the bottom done. I've still got to add a lip on the front of this car because it's got nothing underneath it here. So I'll cut and glue a carbon fiber lip onto the bottom of it, but that'll all be painted black in there and it'll obviously neaten it all out. Car's getting done, as you can see. Now busy with the sides, bonnet, all the little finer details all finished on this guy. Not many decals left, but still a long way to go. And that is just over an hour's worth of graft. So that gives you an idea, working off that design. That's it. It's almost 12, so just finished. That's a good 2 hours worth of decaling. Looks the shizness. Yep. And nothing left, just rubbish. I've still got this to put on the wing and the rear wing and the windscreen, possibly in the side windows, like this guy up here. But that's it for now. So I'm going to let this dry a bit and then clear coat. Okay, before I clear coat, I have to put a spoiler on this, which I cut out of a sheet of carbon fiber, and then I'm going to glue that onto there, like such, and then paint it black. To do that, I use a Bob Smith super glue or a local super glue called Q-Bond and some powder, the Powder Max. Cool, done. That's glued on. I've got to now just Dremel a hole out for the guide, but hopefully you can see in there it's like a powder build-up. That with super glue is unbreakable in my opinion. So I've just got to Dremel half a moon here for the guide, and then we clear coat. Okay, clear coat is done. You can see nice and wet. Black detailing, the wing has been finished. God, looks awesome. So we're going to let that dry now for a while, and then I'll fit the windscreen in. Windscreen's got the decal on. I've clear sealed it with a piece of tape, and it's almost done. Right, next step. This is Sunday, by the way. I had to get this guy's lights finished, so it does look a bit messy, but it's perfect. We use a copper strip, or I do, and I cut this into little strips. Mount the LEDs, which I've got to do now in our white car, headlights, exhausts. Then stick down copper strips like this, and solder a light board together, and that'll have us almost ready. Then I've just got to do some cleanup work, just paint this a little bit more, paint the grille a little bit more, and then mount it and put the wing on. So a few hours. Just to show you what's going on. So we've got LEDs in the front. We common the earth, the guy running through the middle, or negative, to the two tail lights, and then copper circuits for left and right. One will come back down there, and then from the sides for the exhaust on the Merc. Cool. So that's all finished. There you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So that's everything insulated, done, installed, lights are finished, lenses are on the front. Now the entertaining part is this ridiculous chip. This is the lighting chip from Z Machine. These little tabs are what I have to solder onto. And this is my modeling blade. So you can get an idea. These things are maybe 1 millimeter in size. The wire that is used to do this is like hair. It is the smallest wire I've ever had to work with in my life. So this is very tedious work. And having done the best part of 25, 24 cars, it's heavy going. Cool. So did a light test. The board's good, as you can see. Just masked and painted the rear tail lights, so everything's red. Exhausts are good. Headlight front end's all finished. Top's done. Last bit I've got to do, once the paint's dry, cut and shape some foam and then just stick this guy on the tail. That'll then be done. From there, the last step I'm going to do is actually mount the body mounts. I've got to put the mirrors in here, and I'm going to glue on the body mount so that this could essentially will just be able to bolt straight onto a chassis. There we go. 2 AMG Mercs all done. Blue one's done. I've just finished the white one. And that is that. So to mount these cars, I have been doing this lately. I've been super gluing and powdering a strip of plastic on the bottom of each sill with 0.5 millimeter clearance below it. And what that does is it allows the weight kit on the chassis to sit on that white recess. So without scratching it, if I put it just here and drop that on there, that's what it does. The weight kit sits right on that strip, and it should provide sufficient clearance. So we'll see. Does with the Audis. Okay. As the weight kit's in, everything's been glued and resined. If I put this on a tech block and show you, it's just about 1.5 mils clearance all the way around. Done. Like this. Difficult with one hand. There you go. Ready to mount. Finished.